We're having the first big major ball, as we call it, here in Australia, in Sydney. And it's so beautiful to see that here, where you think it just doesn't exist.
Welcome to the Sissy Bar. This is the first ball that's happening, like major big ball in Australia, so give yourself a round of fucking applause.
You learn how to survive in the ballroom scene, but you also learn how to survive in the daily society. If you're not presenting realness, that could mean you're risking your own life. You know, that someone could clock you and they're feeling some type of way about trans people, so they decide to kill you. Like, that's just the reality of all of us. Ballroom culture, it's kind of like a boot camp. It's like this ecosystem that has been created to take care of everyone in that situation.
You know, we always take this idea of voguing being poses from a magazine and taking it to real life. Of course, yes, we want to do that. But the voguing aspect about it is, I know we can get here, but how do we get there? I can turn it here and go, boom, and it'd be a pose. It's something that it's able to shift it into something and be a visual beauty. A lot of people think that Madonna either created it or she started it. No, Madonna was in a club and she's seen voguing and she wanted to include it into her music video. For that, there were people who were doing it, like Willie Ninja or even Mark McLaren. You know, if you watch her music videos, you see how the Vogue culture was going on before the Madonna craze hit. I know our experience of voguing from what we've seen from Madonna, they had old way and new way. Old way is more so of the lines, the boxes, boom, the opposition. And new way is more so of the stretch. I can't stretch, honey, I can't stretch. But it's about your flexibility in doing it to the music as well, too. It's a lot to this, baby. Sort of creates this sort of structure where there's a mother, there's a father, sometimes there's a founder, and there's members. It's so many different houses, so you know, I may join one house, you may be a part of another one, and we come inside this room and we compete against one another. So that's the structure of it. Same thing happened then is what's happening now, so that's one thing that haven't changed.
Sometimes people will say the mother of the house is the best voguer of the house. I don't agree, because I feel like the mother is just the one that is maybe more experienced in life, has been out there, done it, has also, you know, experienced what it means to be living in society as a trans feminine or non-binary person.
When you go into a house, you kind of have to be into their aesthetic. That way it's kind of like, oh, this is where I'm going for. They're gonna uplift me in the right way that I want to portray my voguing style or whatever. Like in NZ, we got House of Coven. How would you describe them?
House of Coven?
Yeah.
They're alternative.
They're into like their witchcraft, horoscopes and all that stuff. And so their house is definitely way different from my house. And so you'd kind of have to pick in terms of like what energy you want to vibe with.
Voguing started for me very, very innocently. I was just like in New York. I had no idea what it was. And naturally, a lot of my friends were, you know, trans and gay people, you know, brown and black, Latinos. And voguing was just a part of their DNA in a way. I just naturally fell into it. It wasn't until I came back to Australia that I realized how lucky I was to have experienced that, and I wanted to share that with other communities and try to create a community and bring together that thing that I had experienced and was missing in Australia.
I love some bits of voguing. Voguing is very in right now.
This is the first time I've been to a voguing event. I don't know what to expect, but I'm so keen.
People have asked me like, what are the do's and don'ts about coming to a ball. And I think people should be very much engaged, but it's also like, I want to be like careful what you touch, or like careful how you handle our culture. As bad as it is, like it's not just another Mardi Gras party or whatever, it's really a reclamation of space and history and a lot of things.
Once you step out there, you're just able to just show people who you are. Girl, I want you to be like, oh yeah, you're fierce. Oh gosh, you're everything. That's what I want to happen.
I think the change for us now is that we have such a huge platform, and really like the world is watching Vogue. They never thought they would like leave that bubble, that little like, you know, that little crystal ball, like it would all stay in that ballroom scene. And now it's grown and it's all over the world. For me, it's about being like, okay, how do we keep what was core and we just don't lose it just to be consumed as a spectacle, that it still functions at its #1 core, and that was our greatest resource of resistance. Ballroom culture was made for us, by us, so that we could survive.